Hey, welcome World Entertainment, and a lot more Batman news is breaking. We now have our first official look at Robert Pattinson's return as the Batman in Batman Part 2. We have the news that it's been pushed from next year to 2028. However, the big update is regarding that push. So, apparently it's James Gunn's fault again. And it's basically Matt Reeves definitely is trying to get this movie and this version of Batman as far away from James Gunn's universe as possible. So, there's the official logo for the Batman Part 2, which Reeves put out. I'll show you this video of, what do you call it? Batman. Robert Pattinson's thing. It takes a while. This is what we see for a while. It's just nothing until this starts happening. So you can see the snow falling. So we're getting that winter setting. It still very much has the color palette of the first movie. So apparently Reeves says there is one change to this Batsuit, and it's the ears are longer. So, whoa, okay. There might still be other changes, and you can see there now the date is now the 18th of February. So okay, but then this story is popping up, and you can see it saying right there that Alan Ritchson is frontrunner for James Gunn's DCU Batman, and it's why the Batman Part 2 moved. This gets really weird and interesting, but we're going to take a look at it. We know Alan Ritchson wants to play Batman. We know he's had discussions with James Gunn. Gunn was hinting that he wants to bring him in, but not as Batman. Richardson is still very much, I still want to be Batman. We've had discussions. I don't know whether Batman's on the table, all this stuff, but now it seems to be that he is the front runner for the very reason we said he would be. Age. It's so bizarre. But this all leads towards Man of Tomorrow, and not even The Brave and the Bold. Look, would Alan Ritchson be a good choice to play Batman? Of course he would. He has the look, he has the size, the build, all of that stuff. Would he be in a good Batman movie? Well, the fact that it'd be a James Gunn Batman, James Gunn may very well end up directing this thing, and it's from a script from Christina Hutchins. God no, it's going to be a disaster. Most like half of James Gunn's casting choices, good casting choices, terrible movies. But we'll dive into this because it gets very strange to how this whole thing is unfolding, and why Gunn is now looking at Alan Ritchson to be his Batman. So the Batman Part 2 did not move to February 2028 to post-production time, or to buy post-production time. So they're not saying they moved it so they have more time to work on post-production and stuff like that. If you're filming it now and it's not to come out until the 1st of October of next year, I think you had plenty of time for post-production stuff. So per a source, our source is James Gunn and Matt Reeves are in the middle of a fight, and the fight is over Gunn wanting his own Batman. That, they're told, is why Batman 2 moved. So earlier today, when the new date landed, they asked whether 7 months of separation from Man of Tomorrow gives Gunn the runway to put his own Batman on screen, and the sources now say that is exactly what this is about. So it follows what was reported yesterday, that Reeves' slow narrative is backwards, with Gunn stalling and offering notes while Reeves waited him out with Mike DeLuca's blessing. So yeah, that was the insane part, which was saying Matt Reeves was obviously saying the script is done, it's ready to go. Then James Gunn was the one coming out saying it's not ready, he doesn't have a finished script, all this type of stuff. And then apparently he was trying to give Matt Reeves notes for his own movie that was set up long before James Gunn was brought into the fold. So a bigger, darker Batman, and that's why Ritchson is the front runner. It's not the only one. The actual reason is more so the fact that he's older for Damian Wayne. So here is the casting note. They're told that Gunn is considering a bigger Batman in keeping with Zack Snyder Batfleck model, and a darker one in the vein of DC's smash hit comic Absolute Batman. So once again, he's immediately going to the brand new versions of these characters. He's not going back into the history of Batman, over 80 years worth of history. He's going straight for the brand new stuff that's out. So, and he's doing this to clearly distinguish his version from Matt Reeves' Robert Pattinson. Any different version would be easily distinguished from Robert Pattinson's version. And Alan Ritchson is a frontrunner. The Reacher star who broke through as DC's Hawk in Titans is old enough to play an older Batman, which their sources note is part of the appeal. So they're saying, well, he's the right age and blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, this is the thing everybody's been saying to you guys since you announced Brave and the Bold with Damian Wayne, was you're gonna have to have an older ass Batman. So why not just keep Ben Affleck? And it was the case of, well, no. Which is also insane now that they're like, well, we're getting rid of Henry Cavill and we're getting rid of Gal Gadot and bye bye Ben Affleck and all this, but we're keeping all this crap, including the things James Gunn like Blue Beetle, because the talk now is that Blue Beetle is in Man of Tomorrow. The Blue Beetle that was in the DCEU Solo, however you pronounce his second name. I'm never quite sure how you pronounce his second name. It's like Motheranda or something like that. Good actor. Horrible movie. He's great in Cobra Kai. But talk about muddying the water even more. It's like, oh yeah, here's more of the DCEU that we told you was no longer canon, but hey, these are the parts I liked. So the public record already points this way. Gunn called himself a big Ritchson fan last year and, asked about casting, refused to say whether the Brave and the Bold would be the first time you'll see this Batman. Ritchson himself confirmed he met with Gunn and that words have been exchanged about Batman before downplaying his chances. He also once said he played for free and blah blah blah. So they're saying downplaying is what actors always do until, you know, they get announced. So note this is a different direction from the earlier Tom Brittney chatter, as it was reported in the bombshell that they're hearing Gunn himself has been putting the Batman leaks out to justify getting Batman or some sort of cameo in Man of Tomorrow. Now, this is what we're all leaning towards. That this isn't even going to be he wants a Batman for Brave and the Bold stuff. That he just wants to finally be able to say he got Batman on the screen through Man of Tomorrow, because all the writings on the wall, Man of Tomorrow will be him over and out. So he's just jam-packing everything in there. So whether the Brittany talk was a trial balloon or misdirection, the model their sources now describe is bigger, older and darker. So the sources also say Gunn is winging it and wants to spring big surprises. One name that came up, Damian Wayne. Recall that Bruce and Damian were supposed to anchor the Brave and the Bold, announced back in 2023, and Andy Muschietti attached. That project has been sitting ever since. It fits the picture insiders have painted of Man of Tomorrow, the last hurrah, loaded with cameos and fan service, because this could be it for Gunn. So what would it mean? Or that would mean no Brave and the Bold. So they're literally saying, like, he's trying to push a Batman into Brave and the Bold because that's it, or into Man of Tomorrow. So, as you can see here, Reeves is pissed, Gunn is desperate. So the one thing the sources have made a point to emphasize is Matt Reeves is pissed, but Gunn is desperate. Reeves finally has cameras rolling at Levensden and a lock for a 2028 date. Well, that's a new lock. Gunn has a July 2027 release, a growing cameo pile, and per reporting, a Paramount board that wants him and Peter Safran out once the merger closes. So it's kind of like, well, what would be the point of bringing Alan Ritchson in then? Like, hey, Alan, how do you feel about playing Batman for a one and done cameo? Hey, what? Now, obviously, if he came in as Batman and people really took to him as Batman, Paramount could move forward with him as Batman and keep David Cornsweet as Superman and stuff like that. But Gunn and all that's gone, and just try and reset. Either way, look, it's an absolute clusterfuck right now at DC. It truly is. You have Matt Reeves doing the Batman. James Gunn clearly is jealous of that, so was doing everything to delay him from being able to do the Batman Part 2. He was probably hoping that he could go in and cancel that. He probably really was. And he was told, well, you can't because he's on a contract for a trilogy. So now his idea is, well, I'm just going to make a bigger, darker version of Batman, but we're going to shovel him into Man of Tomorrow instead. If the current round of things is true and whatnot for Man of Tomorrow, you're going to have Superman, Supergirl, Lex Luthor, Brainiac, one of the or multiple Green Lanterns, Hawkgirl, the Engineer, Metamorpho, Crypto, no doubt will be bloody running around in there. You have who else is in there? Of course, all the Daily Planet people will be in there. You have, I believe, some of Lex Luthor's weird alien things are coming back as well. The robots are coming back. Either Maxima or Wonder Woman, one of them two, maybe both, who knows. Blue Beetle, and now you're talking about Damian Wayne and Batman. It's just like, so you're making this another Superman movie where the focus is not on Superman whatsoever. Why do that? Why complicate the crap? It's just ridiculous. But there you go, folks. The Batman Part 2 has officially moved from October 1st, 2027 to the 18th of February of 2028, seemingly to get it as far away from anything connected to James Gunn. And James Gunn seems to be pushing back by going, I want a bigger, darker, grittier, I suppose, version of Batman. Let's wait and see what happens. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think Alan Ritchson will be cast? Do you think it will be for a one and done cameo in Man of Tomorrow? And do you think Matt Reeves truly did move the Batman Part 2 to get as far away from James Gunn as possible? Let me know what you guys think. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, share and subscribe and hit that hype button and all that good stuff. Cheers. We'll catch you in the next one.